Hi guys. If you're just joining, you're welcome. Thank you for joining. Thank you. Sorry I could not be here yesterday. Sorry about that. But I'm here now. If you're just joining, thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you so much for being here. If you're just joining, thank you. Thank you so much for joining, guys. So I'm so sorry about yesterday that I was not able to be here, and some people sent me DM and was like, "Oh, but before they will even join, that my life is either over or they didn't know that I should just give them some time to be able to join, right?" So let's just try to get to know ourselves. I'm streaming from Nigeria, River State, Nigeria. I'm currently in River State, Nigeria. If you know, you know that I shuttle between Lagos and River State. But right now, I'm currently in River State. Okay, so where are you watching this live from? Where are you seeing me from? Which country are you in? Which state are you in? Which continent are you in? Okay, where are you seeing me from? Thank you for joining, guys. Thank you, thank you. Thank you for coming. Remember to like live. Remember to share it, please, before we start. Share the live before we go into the main conversation. Where are you seeing me from? And how has your day been? Quickly, guys, this live is going to last for about an hour. So by 10:14, 10:15, we should be done. That's 10:14 Nigerian time, I'll be West African time, right? Yes, by 10:14 West African time, we should be done. Please power tap on your screen. So I am streaming live I'm streaming live on TikTok, and I'm currently live on TikTok and YouTube. Okay, so you can join me on any of the platform, either TikTok or YouTube. Soon I will have my Facebook up and running too. Okay, so I'll be so that wherever you are, and once it's 9 p.m., you will just join. How are you, Stanley? Stephanie, Elvis. So don't be bothered if you see me like trying to look on here or look there, okay? I'm currently live on both TikTok and YouTube, okay? So what we are going to discuss, the YouTube people already know we're talking about today, is decide who to marry. I have a lot of videos that I have made and talk. Thank you so much for the likes. Please like the live. I'm begging, please. If you are here, like the live, please. You will see the thumbs up there. Make use of it, please. And then if you're on TikTok, just power tap on your screen and share the live so that other people will see it. Luis, you are early today. That's so good to see you. Where are you guys watching me from? I'm in River State, Nigeria. So where are you guys at? Where are you guys at? So Fola is nice tune in from Abuja. I like your hairstyle. Thank you. How is Abuja today? Abuja is a fun city. Abuja, oh my goodness. Abuja have this cheapest food compared to Lagos, though. Not cheapest, like you still get fine dining, good quality food at good amount, right? How am I? I'm very, very well. How are you doing? Mehandi, am I right? Mehandi. Okay, how are you guys doing? Where are you watching me from? Where are you seeing me from? My TikTok family, you guys are not talking. What is happening? How was your day? Where are you watching me from? Which city are you in? Which country are you in? Which continent are you in? Okay, I hope this time that I come live works for all of you, right? Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I hope this time works for everyone. I hope. Like, if you know me, I don't like to waste time when I'm here, because sometimes the time I allocate for myself is never enough. And I want to make sure that I get to finish what I have in mind to say, because most of the time when I post videos, if you have seen my videos, my recent videos for today, you would understand what I'm talking about. They're always short. Time I have to make longer video, have more interaction with you guys, be able to converse and share my mind and my deepest thoughts with you guys. Like, I discuss a lot, I talk about a lot of relationship. I do a lot of relationship content, and I get different types of emails of people sharing their story with me, people seeking for advice. Yeah. And from what I've realized, most of my friends do tell me that one of the difficult things that men do find about the period or the season we are, the times we are in, is making that decision of who to get married to, right? It's not something that it's not a one size fits all. It's not something that one person can tell you this is who you should marry. Okay, you see a lot of men that they just meet this person and they have this conviction in their mind that this is the right person for them. I don't know what is wrong with my laptop today. Which kind of problem is this one? So you find out that this is you find out that everybody have what works for them, what they are looking out for in a partner, right? Is my laptop spoiled? God, I beg you. I decided to go into that conversation, be it as it may. I have a lot of things that I've, most of these thought process, it just comes into my head and I quickly write them down so that I will not forget. And I did a lot of that writing on my laptop, so I'm like, hey, Oga, no, do me this kind of thing this evening. No, it's not a good time. Trust me, it's not a good time. What's the problem with you? You just shut down for no reason. This laptop have not given me problems since. Yes, I've had it though. Don't start now. Anyway, so one of the things that we have to discuss when it comes to deciding who to marry, okay, is we have to talk about yourself first. Before you make that decision that I want to marry somebody, it starts with you, right? It starts with either the decision that you have made up your mind that I am ready, okay? And it's something that my friends will always say. They will say they know they tell man. So I believe that when a man is ready, remember that most of my conversation surrounds men, because 90% of my followers are men. So it might seem as if this conversation will tilt towards men. However, if you're a woman here, you also realize that there's a lot of things here that will also profit you. So back to what I'm saying, like, you will see a lot of guys saying they know they tell man. Is basically that you would see that a lot of men, when they are ready to marry, it seems as if they have that conviction in them. When you are ready, when you know, right? You have it in you that I am ready for this. Right? Are we all here? I hope a lot of us are here. I don't want to go further. People will join in and be like, oh, I've missed something. Anyway, it comes with that conviction with yourself. Some people, what triggers their decision is that, oh, my friends are getting married. You see that before, I used to think this is a feminine thing. I used to think that it's only women that when their mates are getting married, they feel, oh, I need to get married. I've also realized that the same thing happens with men. At least most of the guys that I do speak with, they'll be like, yeah, it happens to us too, that when our friends start getting married, you're like, you don't want to be in that situation where you don't have anything to converse anymore, right? You see your friends, they're all getting out of that circle of singlehood. You guys seems to start losing what to discuss, start losing what to common ground. They start to lose common ground. Yes, so for men too, it happens with them because they don't want to be in that circle and realize that um they don't have friends anymore or somebody to talk to, right? Thank God we are back on track because I hate to miss my train of thought. Good. So you find out it also happens with men, that they too get that pressure when their friends start getting married. They too consider age. It's not because of their biological timing or anything. It's just that they also want to have kids on time and raise their kids early. So that's why I'm saying that number one thing that you have to consider when you're talking about marriage is yourself, right? Have you been able to figure out your own decisions? What are the things that you uphold about marriage? Maybe it's something that you learned from your parents, something that you have seen other people do. What are those things that you um that are your beliefs, what you expect partnership called marriage, right? Marriage is all about partnership. So you're asking yourself, what is those things that I have concluded, or that I have an expectation, or I have in my prayer list, that this is what I expect marriage to be, right? You need to understand yourself, because that's one mistake people make, that you see a lot of men, they marry again, like I said, because their friends are getting married. Believe it or not, it happens to men. They marry because their friends are getting married. They marry again because of age. Some of them have that deadline of 35, but you have not found out who you are. You have not made that decision of, this is what I want out of life, this is my values, this is what I consider important for me at this point in my life, right? If you do not love yourself enough, if you do not understand yourself well enough, you have no business bringing another person into your life. Let that sink in, please. If you do not love yourself enough, you must have loved yourself well enough before you now start. That is why it kind of puts me off when you see, especially women, saying that, I need a man that will love me right. You should learn to love yourself right. When you make demands from somebody, let it be that 80% of those demands, I said 80, not 50, 80% of those demands are things you can meet up for yourself. You can do those things for yourself. It's at your own fulfillment that you can let another person in. I always say that, even when I think about marriage, I'm like, if you have not gotten to that point when you have a need for a partner, right? If you have not gotten to that point where it's just like what my friends would be like, one of my friends would be like, people run into buying iPhones, right? New versions of phone. But have you gotten to the point where the scientists go to and they're like, yeah, and we need a new version? That is how I see marriage too. You should get to a point in your single life that you feel like, I need a partner, right? I need somebody for this next step of my life. I need somebody for this next journey of my life. But if you have not gotten to that place, why are you bringing another person? You are still confused. I'm sorry. You are at the point that you are still confused. Then you are dragging another person. Please feel free to stop me at any point and ask your questions, right? At any point you have any question, just drop it in the comment section. I'll just pick it up and read it. Okay. So back to what I'm saying. Like, if you have not gotten to that point where you see some people, you see them, the people chronic bashers or chronic spinster. Some people have become so comfortable at the point I got to that point where I've become so comfortable with being single that I don't find that need of somebody. I'm so comfortable, like everything is just nice for me. Like I was happy with myself. I didn't see any reason why I needed another person at that point. I didn't have rent that I want to share, or I didn't have emotional need that I wanted to solve. I was at that point in my life where I felt that I am okay, right? If you are still at that point where you are comfortable in singleness, you don't need to be married. I know you are not expecting this, right? You don't need to be married. You are still comfortable until you have that ache. It's like an hunger. I find the same thing with career. There is this point you will work for somebody, in your mind you are like, I need to be promoted. You know you have gotten to that point where you have given your all in this level and you need to be married. The same way. That's why I was saying, I think 2 days ago, because I was not live yesterday. So 2 days ago, I beg your pardon. 2 days ago, I was saying it that if you don't have any reason to be married, leave marriage for people that have a reason for it. If you don't have the skill set, it is not in your genetic makeup, if you don't know how to manage a human being, you did not learn that at home. Sorry, this is not an insult or anything. Like, you tried. Some people are not cut out to be mothers. Some people are not cut out to be anybody's fathers, and it's fine. Don't drag people into your life because you feel like, okay, at this point in my life, I'm supposed to have somebody. No. If you don't have that conviction in you, you have not discovered what you need. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the likes. Thank you, Lillian. Thank you for the likes, Lillian. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you. You guys will like this live. Thank you so much. So you must have that conviction in your mind. The thing about that self-discovery is that you should know yourself in the area of emotional, being ready emotionally, right? You must be ready. Emotions must be ready. If you're not ready in your emotions, thank you so much for the likes. Thank you so much. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much for the likes, Lillian. I appreciate it. So you must be emotionally ready, because marriage is definitely not a place of fun. Again, if you have been a child that is observant, you would have noticed that with your parents' marriage. Like I said in one of my videos, it's one of the things I would have talked about yesterday, but I'm doing that today, thank God. Marriage, your family is the place that you would understand what love looks like, right? You will understand family. Ask yourself again, when you were growing up, when you were living with your parents, how was that journey? Maybe you actively lived with them for 15 years. Thank you so much for the likes. Abba Father, thank you so much. So you have to ask yourself, when I was living with my mother and my father for 18 years, right? How was that journey for us? Right? You realize that there are times that your parents are so happy, they are celebrating, there are things that are making them ecstatic. That ecstasy, that joy, that happiness might last for a year. You might see it being there in the family. Thank you so much, Abba Father. You might see it lasting for a year. You might see that happiness, that joy for 2 years, and then maybe 3 years later they can't afford to pay your school fees. You can see them struggling. You can see them holding on to their life, and you can see in that time you were living with your parents that sometimes their problem is not financial. Sometimes their problem is the problem that was brought externally, right? Somebody might have said something and you see your parents bickering about it and going back and forth about it. You should be emotionally ready for these types of emotions in marriage. Again, I beg your pardon. You should be emotionally ready. Don't be like, oh, everything is going to be perfect. Life is not created that way. If not, all my hands are supposed to be equal, right? My hands, my fingers are not equal. So there is no way. This is the same way you can see the waves and the curve. Like, this one is so distant that it's almost like, are you the happy side or are you the sad side, right? You could see that wave within the length of the fingers, showing you actively how life looks like. There's highs and low. You can see here looks very low, and then it went up. Then it went up again. Then it started going down that it even, like, I don't even want to go there. So life is not meant to favor you. You are not special. I remember my friend that wrote a book, and he said in that book he was talking about why wouldn't it be you? Why, like, when people are like, hey, how this kind of thing go happen to me? Okay, who do you want it to happen to? At a point in our life, there was one time I was saying this a lot, that people felt I was so depressed, or maybe I felt so bad about my life. I say it every time, that life does not take you as serious as you think. Just let that sink in. Life does not take you as serious as you think. The way you are taking life serious, life no send you. Life, no send you. And it can happen to you at any time that it pleases. Joy can come in the morning, afternoon will be mixed, and night will be sad. Again in the morning, joy comes back. You cannot predict what the next feelings will be. And that's the same thing in marriage. Because you met that person nice and beautiful, there will be breakdown of character, right? In the goodness of that person, you will discover the good, the bad, and the ugly. There is nobody that is completely good. When you see there's one time I was thinking about my friends and their marriages, and how they are always so happy. Then something dawned on me, that you only post your good side on social media. So what made you think that these your friends are not posting the best side of themselves, or not talking about the best side of themselves when they meet? I'm not saying that all my friends have happy marriages, don't get me wrong, but you could see the elevation of it when they are with people, and it's almost theatric, if I may put it that way. I'm sorry, but you could see that it's like extra. And then in my head, I'm like, of course, love is possible. However, you should not think that, because you should also, again, that's why family is the best place to learn about marriage. You should also consider the fact that when your parents go out and maybe they are not in the best of the mood, they don't go around telling people that they are not happy, right? That's the same thing. When you feel that all your friends are married and happy, pause, just take a step back and think about it again. Remember that emotions, character has been broken down. When I mean by broken down, that you begin to see different layers of that person. You begin to see different angles of that person, which will either leave you shocked or happy. Okay? But you should be emotionally ready. That's why, first of all, you need to know yourself, be ready. If you don't understand yourself as a person, you have no business being in marriage. Because at the end of the day, you can only vouch for yourself, right? You can only vouch for yourself in marriage. In life, in anything, you can only vouch for yourself. You cannot say this is what the next person will be. Okay? Then when at the point where you are trying to decide who you want to marry, one of the things that you have to do is you start to check that relationship. Yes, I found the one. However, we tend to run into marriage relationship with our heart first. Okay? Expectations, dreams, whatever. You have a picture in your head that you have painted perfectly of what you expect that person to do, or what you expect that person to be like. Remember, you did not create anybody, right? You did not create any human being. So therefore, you should not expect perfection from anybody. In fact, you should expect nothing. The only thing, and that is why I said earlier, you must know yourself. The only person you can vouch for in that marriage is you. Yes. So when you begin to understand and break down, what do I feel for this person? What do I feel for this man? You begin to break it down into that compatibility. You break it down into compatibility. You start to ask yourself, am I really, really compatible with this person? I remember my mother telling me something. My mom told me something that one of the ways you will know that somebody is actually meant for you is that you will necessarily see it as if both of you think alike. You will start to notice that both of you think alike. That is what she told me. She'll be like, that your mind seems to be like, maybe you have plans of giving somebody something, and the person is telling you, yeah, I also have plans of this too. It's as if your mind connects without spoken words, right? That is what my mother told me, and that is one of the things you expect when it comes to compatibility. Okay, you begin to ask yourself, am I genuinely compatible? Our lifestyle, religion, finances, expectations, are they all in the same in the same line? If you're somebody that likes to travel and then you marry somebody that does not like to travel, at a point you start feeling resentment for that person, because you feel as if you have wasted your life. And it's not just that the person does not like to travel, the person still does not want you to travel, do solo travels, you know. So the person is not willing, maybe out of 10 years of your marriage, it's only once that she's like, okay, let's go somewhere. And this is something that whether you have money or not, you just like to do it. So that's lack of compatibility on that side. So you should ask yourself, this person I'm going out with, this person I'm getting married to, do we think alike? Do we want the same thing out of life? Are we planning finances? Do we have plans of joint joint account, joint finances? What is our first plans? Is it car, land, house? Are we making our children the priority in this marriage? Compatibility. Ask the right questions. If you follow, you would know that that is one thing I always shout every day on all my videos. Ask the right questions. Ask the right questions. Do not assume. Do not assume. Assumption is the mother of all fuck ups. Assumption is what? The mother of all fuck ups. Stop assuming in your head that somehow this lady should understand. She's supposed to no. Ask the right questions. What are your plans towards this? What are your goals towards this? So that when the person starts to deviate, you can also come back to the person and be like, but you said, right? You can also come back to the person and be like, but we heard about this. And that also boils down to communication, right? Evaluate that relationship, analyze it properly, think about it deeply. Be sure that both of you can communicate. I don't mean communicate once in a while. I mean communicating even when you are not happy with the person. Being kind in your communication. Okay, you have to be sure that before you say I want to marry this person, we can communicate. You'll be sure that you can be able to tell this person what you have in mind without judgment. At least let the person be able to hear you out. Auntie, madam, oga, hear me out. That's communication. Be able to be sure that you are able to talk about things. See, you will be surprised that a lot of people are married but they can't communicate. Some people do not know how to communicate. See, I try to bring as much practical example as I can when I'm having this conversation, and I'm going to use myself as example. I pray that it's completely cured by now. I'm not the kind of person, I'm a good communicator, but when it comes to anything that is painful, my first response is flight. Otilo, you don't go. So my first response with things is to disappear and reappear later. For whatever reason why I do that, I don't know. But I remember that this my friend, right? One of my friends like that works in one hospital. So I went to visit one day and we were just talking about something. I think that has to do with something as silly as Fanta, you know? And then I think the conversation became agitated. And I left. About 10 minutes later, he called me and was like, where are you? I'm like, I'm gone. He was like, really? Is this how you deal with conflict? He said, no. That have I gone far? I was like, not really. He said, can you just come back? So I came back and then we sat down. And he was like, you cannot handle conflicts like this. That the main purpose of conflict, disagreement, conversation is for you to find an agreement and a common ground. That the goal is not for one person to win. The goal is for us to find a common ground. right? And that is what communication is about. Communication is not, especially in marriage and relationship, the goal is not for somebody to be a winner. The goal is for us to find a common ground, to hit that jackpot, to be like, yes, this is what works for both of us, and we should abide in this and see it work for us, right? That's it about uh, communication, which is also something that you can look at when you talk about how do both of you handle disagreements, right? I've told you about myself until I had a sit down and a lecture about not running. I even till now I still have it in me, like when something is like heated, my first response is to disappear. However, however, if you will let me sleep, no matter what is making me angry in this life, if only you allow me to sleep, I will wake up a better person. And that is how I resolve conflict. No matter what has happened, if you would just allow me to sleep for 30 minutes or 2 hours, trust me, I will come back a brand new person. I will come back, even if it's the biggest sin that you have committed. Trust me, I will forgive that person, because I just need to rest. And I realized that this has always been the way I am when I was when I was growing up. Do you get what I mean? Like, I remember then, if I should break something in the house and I'm afraid that my dad is going to do XYZ to me when he comes back, the first thing I'm thinking of is I want to sleep. When I sleep and wake up, it's either I've come up with a solution or I've come up with the perfect thing to tell my dad, right? So again, where you resolve conflicts in marriage, in relationship, is something that you should look at. Don't just, I love this person. Some people will break your head that they are angry, and they are defining themselves that, oh, I've talked about this thing a lot here. They are defining themselves that, oh, I have hot temper. You will not last in that marriage. If you are with somebody that cannot use their words to resolve conflict, that do not know how to, fight fair, listen, be able to have communications, find solution towards conflict, you will be in trouble. Okay? You will find yourself in a situation whereby you are like, oh my goodness, what have I done to myself? But these are things you saw during dating and you felt like, I should be able to handle this. No, you can't actually. You will now realize that you're in that marriage with that person, and any little thing, the person wants to break your head, one person wants to do they become violent. They are shouting, they are breaking things, they are like smashing things when you were dating them, and then you maybe have a conversation with the person is like, I will stop. I'm sorry, people do not stop nor change easily. Okay? People do not stop nor change easily. It is not what human beings do. It is not, you cannot even talk to somebody easily into change. Especially when that is who they have been. That is what they have been. Even when I talked about myself, you heard me say clearly that even till now, I still struggle for running from situations because I'm used to disappearing. Talk more of people that become violent, right? So you need to watch out the way both of you talk about arguments. I've talked about this, your goals in life. What are your goals? How you manage your goals and stuff. Another thing is, like, just like the number 2 that I talked about, you have to be careful and analyze that person's character thoroughly. Okay? Analyze the person's character thoroughly. Remember, like I said, if you have any question, feel free to ask, right? Feel free to, you should know yourself first, right? Now, number 3 is you analyzing the person's character thoroughly. There is something I normally do when I meet somebody, or when conversations become serious and the person is like, oh, I want to spend the rest of my life with you. I am that shameless person that brings Bible and paper and writes things down. I write people I'm like, try it, is therapeutic. Don't be ashamed to do that. Write things down. Write down the things that you have seen that are consistent about people or about the person. Write down the pros, the cons, the things that you feel like I can actually handle. Or if this person, that's why I said it before. I want to say this now so that I will not forget. I have talked about this thing a lot of times. Marry somebody that you have forgiven in advance. That is sinking. Marry somebody that you have forgiven in advance. Before they do those things, you are already forgiving them. Clear your mind of holding grudge, because marriage is a place where if you decide to hold grudge, you will lose everything. So when you meet somebody and you decide in your heart, this is the person I want, and you have analyzed, that's why I said check these things out thoroughly. Don't be ashamed to check these things out. Thank you so much for the likes. Thank you so much, AR. Thank you, AR. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. So don't be ashamed of analyzing the person or analyzing their character. Don't be ashamed to ask the right question. Because if you are telling yourself the truth, you should be able to forgive in advance. Even before we sin, our God has already forgiven us. That is why our forgiveness does not take time. He already knows our discrepancies. He already knows our weaknesses. He already knows those things that we cannot do in as much as we promise him we will do. And that is why over and over again, the grace is there, the mercy is there, and he will keep forgiving us. Right? So the same thing applies to marriage. If you say, I love this person, I want to be one with this person. You did not say two. I want to hold on to this person, cleave onto this person, become one with this person. Then you should be able to forgive that person in advance. And that is why I said, bring out your Bible and paper and analyze their characters, the pros, the cons, make a decision. This is something that I cannot stand in this marriage. If I should marry Monica, if I should marry Natasha, if I should marry Chimamanda, I will not be able to tolerate these characters. Tell yourself the truth and walk away. Now, if it's something you think that you can tolerate, ask yourself again, if this babe do this thing every day till I die, will I forgive her every day till I die? I will leave that question for you. I hope you will find the right answer. Be able to analyze the person. Be able to understand their character. And is a person background what? What did you say? Background issues is affecting many marriages. I have a lot of videos on background and all those stuff. I'm talking about, thank you for joining, by the way. I'm talking about how to decide who to marry. Thank you for joining. Just stay with us. You're going to like understand more. So I've talked about my last two video was about background. Okay, please go check that out if you have not seen it. Okay, thank you so much for joining. Okay, so when we talk about analyzing character, we are talking about, that is Olamorun, right? I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Anyway, analyzing the person's character, knowing whether that person is kind and respectful. I believe respect is something that men place above love. You want that woman that respects you. You want that woman that is kind to you, kind in their actions, kind when they are angry, kind in their mannerism, kind to you, sympathetic to your emotions, sympathetic, hey, English, sympathetic to your emotions, sympathetic to your feelings, sympathetic to your masculine energy, right? You need somebody that is sympathetic, somebody that is kind to you, somebody that can pick it up when you are down, somebody that will be there for you when you cannot even be there for yourself, somebody that can continuously assure you that things will get better even when you feel they are not getting better. And I don't mean this about financial, it could be in any aspect of life, health wise, spiritual wise, moral wise, right? Check out that person's, whether the person is kind, whether the person is respectful, and especially to other people. Forget about yourself. That is one thing people don't understand. This respect and kindness, that's why I said it. That's why I was referring Ola to my last two videos. Check out my last two videos. Welcome, Just Man, you are welcome. Thank you so much for joining. So that is why I was referring to my last two videos. Go and check out in that person's home, where they are coming from, the way they treat their friends. When you guys go out, the way they treat other people, not your friends. No, not your friends, not you. Somebody can be nice and pretentious to you, but you can know. Just like my life 3 days ago, if you have not seen it, please, it's available on YouTube. My life 3 days ago, I was talking about this thing, that there is this about my friend, that people were calling him from the church, how the girl they fight for them, right? As of that time, the girl never start to beat them, but in his head it's like, oh, it's outside, it's a problem that I can solve. If they are telling you that your wife or the person you are in love with is a Mike Tyson outside, who told you that they will not bring the ring to your house? Let's be honest. If she's a Mike Tyson outside, they beat people, they, who told you that this girl will not come home and fight you? So the girl brought the war home. And as of that time, it was too late for him. So as somebody, you need to be checking those characters that the person is showing to you, to the outsiders, not just you. How are they treating other people? Now we're talking about trustworthiness. Everybody know my stand on trustworthy. If you follow my page, if you know me, you would understand that I do not believe I'm giving somebody trust. It's not a birthday gift. I cannot carry trust and give to you. No. Trust is a strong emotion. It's too strong to give away. It's not a freebie. It's not MTN recharge card. Trust is something that people have to bring daily. You ask yourself, in those things that this lady have done or this man have done, that you have tried them for, have they proven trust? Have they proven trust? At least for men, when they talk about trust, they want to trust that you will not give your body to somebody. Have this person proven that they can trust you, or you can trust them with their body? Have they proven to you that they can stay? If you are somebody that lives in the diaspora, are they proving to you that they can stay without sex? Have they proven to you that they can stay without having a male figure around them? This is something you need to check, and that is trust. As far as I'm concerned, trust is something the person needs to prove every day. It's the most difficult aspect of marriage. Trustworthy, but every day you must come trustworthy. Any day you miss one thing, please do not call it mistake. You are not trustworthy. The Bible talked about you remaining faithful even when facing death, and I will give you a crown of life. It did not say sometimes doing that temptation, or you run and go back, I will still bless you. After all, you don't try. No, he said, even when that temptation is so difficult, it's almost as if you will give up. Remain faithful. Faithfulness is almost or nearly the same thing as trust. Remain faithful even when facing death, and I will give. That means even if they kill you, stand by me, right? Even if that person is telling you, if you not sleep with me, you will die. You are like, no, I give nobody my body. That is trust. As long as you have given it away and you tell me it's mistake, forgive you. I am not forgiving nothing, because I will forgive, but don't ask me to trust you in that aspect anymore. It's over. It's gone. It's not available. I cannot trust you there, right? I cannot sleep with my eyes closed, because I know that in this area of life, you are not trustworthy. So trustworthiness is too deep an emotion to give somebody for free. It is too deep an emotion for us to tackle this night, because my ideologies, my thoughts about trust is not conventional. Okay? I do not give any. If you ask me whether I trust you, I'll raise my hand and say, I don't trust you. In fact, if you ask me too much whether I trust you, I know that you are not trustworthy. If you are trustworthy, show it. You don't need to ask me, do I trust you? Don't you trust me? I know. No, I don't trust you. I'm sorry. But let's move on, because my ideology about trust is something you must bring every day. Don't ask me if I trust you. I don't. I'm not supposed to trust you. You should prove yourself trustworthy. Every day you should do those things that are trustworthy. So if a woman is telling you, hey, I went to that guy's house, don't you trust me? Tell and say you no trust them. Nobody go beat you. I no trust you. Why now? Why not trust me? I said I don't trust you. Was I there? It is hearsay. It's whatever you tell me that I have to believe, right? Until you have proven yourself worthy. You have to prove it. I can't give it out. I don't have it in my storehouse. Trust is something I don't have to give anybody. I don't have it. The only thing I have is love, respect, forgiveness. Trust, you show it. Now you go, they show me, say you are trustworthy. Why should I say that I trust you when you have not proven it? So when people are asking you, do you trust them? Tell them, no. Why should I? If there's somebody that, oh, I'm going to sleep today, and I'm assure you, you will wake up. I can't trust that I will wake up. I don't even trust myself, right? When I set alarm, I go to sleep, and then it's 6 a.m. that I set the alarm for, and I'm pushing my alarm away. I can do another 30 minutes of sleep. I don't trust myself. Why should I trust you? Right? So on the ideology of trust and marriage, it is something that the partner or the person brings to you till they die. You heard me? Oh, no mistake. You failed yourself, not me. So if in that aspect, let me say for 15 years of marriage you have been faithful, if you go and sleep with another person one day, that past 15 years is immaterial. It's just that you didn't see the right opportunity. If it has the right opportunity have presented yourself, you would have done it earlier, right? So the 15 years you have been faithful is rubbish, because the next 15 years I will never trust you on that subject. Never. When the right opportunity presents itself, you will still repeat the same thing. So let's move on, because trust, you don't want to hear what I think about trust. So when you talk about determining who you want to marry and analyzing that person's character, you should also be able to analyze how emotionally stable that person is. This is a deep, deep thing that a lot of men make a lot of mistake for. Do you get what I mean? They make a lot of mistake of not analyzing how stable that person is emotionally. There is a lot of people that are mad, roaming mad on the street. The only thing is that they have not seen any psychiatric hospital that will admit them. So if you are dealing with somebody that is not emotionally stable and you are saying you want to spend the rest of your life with that person, you will end up to regret it. Some people thrive on drama. You know, the annoying thing is that, like I said, most of my followers are men, so I know I can speak freely to men. A lot of women have come to that thought. They have come to the mental silliness, right? They assume that drama is love. And I even see some men in comment section where they say, short girls are dramatic. I like a girl wey get small waist. I can tell you for free, that way they look for, you cannot live with wewe for 10 years. You see, drama is something you, at a point, you will ask yourself, why did I do this to myself? The person is dating you, they are excessively jealous. You talk to somebody, one day, they go slap you when you dey drive. Your eye go clear, you'll be like, what the heck? Before you retaliate, you need to park to retaliate, right? The person don't come down, they run first. You will be embarrassed in the places you did not expect embarrassment. Why you did not take into that action, or you did not take, I beg your pardon, you did not take into consideration how destabilized, how unstable that person is emotionally. Right? You did not take it into action. So the day you'll be talking to somebody, the person will come and tear you slap. I'm sorry, the person will come and tear you slap. Now in your head, you'll not be like, hey, I needed a girl with a touch of wewe. Now you are taking the wewe back to back. And the person is now embarrassing you. Some people, they will go through your phone and start calling every female number on your phone. What is that? Right? They don't know how you know the person. They don't care to know how you know that person. They don't even care who that person is. They just start raving mad, raving columenta, emotional instability. Anything that has to, in your mind, I've talked about, I think the last time I was live, that was the day before yesterday, I talked about this thing. If you have not seen that video, it's available on YouTube. Don't marry. There are some people you don't need to marry. Excessively jealous people, they are not emotionally stable. She's calling everybody in your contact. She's calling this person. One day, you insult your mama, join. You will save your mother with sweet mama. You see mama there, you say, who the heck is a sweet mama? They are calling your mother, insulting your mother. Some people are not emotionally ready. They are not emotionally stable. They cannot withstand the pressure, the things that comes with marriage. And they will stay your white. So you have to put into consideration the way the person handles their emotion. Excessive jealousy. That's how you come home one day, they'll empty one pot of soup on top your head. Why? You came back from work late, and maybe you're on the way, you are bringing your colleague was in the car with you or whatever, and she's calling, and then you heard the lady's voice. She's like, what the heck are you with? When you come home, I'm going to deal with you. You think it's talk. As you are putting head in your door, they don't pour you pot of soup. Why? Because you needed a girl with a touch of wavy. Let's move on. Another thing we have to consider, or you have to consider, is you have to, this one is a practical thing you have to do. You have to test that relationship. Trial. When you go to school, they set exams for you. Then they set tests for you. Both the one they know you can pass and the one they know you cannot pass. They just put it there to know your capability. They want to know your limits. They want to know your breaking points. They want to know at what point, what will I do, or where does this person's immediate knowledge stop? What is the capability of that person's memory retention, right? that is the same way you should test your marriage. After all, you have not married the person. You are supposed to be able, in deciding to marry somebody, test that relationship. Try the person, spend time together with the person. That is the purpose of courtship. I did not say you should go and be knocking her. I said test the relationship, right? Test the relationship does not mean you should test her punani. I mean test the relationship. Try out the relationship in real time, right? Not trying the punani in real time. I mean try the relationship in real time. You should spend quality time with the person, spend time with the person, see them in various situations and stress. In various days. Call babes in front of them, call men in front of them, call anybody in front of them. Travel without them, travel with them, go places with them, go outing with them, go for activities with them, take them to your job if you're that daring. You know, try that person in different situations, because the same way you are trying the person is also trying you to see what you can do in time of stress, in time of panic. What is your response? In time of confusion, how do you handle confusion? How do you handle every situation? How do they handle family? How do they treat your siblings? How do they treat your parents? How do they treat your friends? Right? Check those things out in real time. Observe. Forget about what the person is saying. Observe. People can tell you, say, hey, you are very beautiful. But in your back, they go do you. So observe with your eyes the things that they are acting out, the things they are saying, but they are not using their mouth to say it. Observe, observe, observe. Be careful with what they are doing. Share experience with them. Tell them stories that will make them tell you stories back. Very important. Sometimes you don't even need to do a lot of things with people. With the story, with the experience that they share with you, you will be able to understand and analyze where their head is at. Okay? Be ready to share experience with them, whether in the present or in the past. Converse with them, talk with them. Try to understand what sticks them, what makes them who they are. Right? Then again, after you have done all these things, we go to our number 5 bundle, because all these things you can see when I mention one, I break it down. Number 5, which is going to be our final one because I have just 5 minutes with you guys, is when you have done all these things, go back again and reflect on whether you truly like this person. Remember, we started from what? Knowing yourself. And then you start breaking it down, knowing the person, understanding the relationship, understanding communication, understanding character. At the third end of it, go back again and ask yourself deep question. Reflect on your feeling. Am I high? Na zoo they talk, I been a Hennessy, I been a Heineken. How do I genuinely feel about this person? Begin to ask yourself that hard question. How do I genuinely feel about this person? Do I genuinely love and respect them? Remember, it is the job of men to love a woman, while it is the job of women to actually do the respect, right? So, as the Bible has commanded you to love your wife as Christ loved the church, will you be able to do that genuinely deep down in your spirit? You should be able to tell yourself the hard truth. Do I genuinely love this person? Or it's just infatuation? Right? Do you love them for who they are? There is something that I always tell women, especially my friends, because I don't have a lot of women coming to me for counseling or relationship advice. A lot of women just come to me for, just talk, and then some of my friends that are married. But for women that do have conversation with me and they're like, oh, this man is worthy and what not, I ask them, strip this man of everything he has, will you still marry him? Strip him of everything he has. In your imagination, let's say 10 years into this marriage, this man has nothing. I've seen it play out in real time. And the last two conversation I had, I was talking about the woman that left her husband after the man have taken her all over the world, giving her experiences that she can never afford in her generation. The man started having shaky business, and the woman said she know they do again. Guess what? Few years later, God gave the man a contract of 1 billion naira, 1.1 billion naira to be exact. And the woman is now shivering in her pants. Oh, I have made a mistake. Listen, let me tell you something. If you strip that woman of everything she has, and you strip that man of everything he has, will you still marry that person? I will leave that question for you to answer. When the person is nothing, absolutely nothing, will you still be there? When they are sick, dying, in a situation they cannot help themselves, will you still be there? Mr. Longman said I'm beautiful. Thank you so much. Where are you watching me for? Then Mr. Longman also said he wanna marry me. He said I wanna gonna. That's nice. Thank you. I'll take that as a compliment. Anyway, so the love and respect, will you be there? That's what I'm saying. Will you be there? If that person wake up with nothing, that is G-Wagon. Recently, when at work, one of my colleagues was telling me of what happened to his brother-in-law, right? His brother-in-law, I'm coming, Louis, I'm going to read your message. His brother-in-law mistakenly went and sold, no, he was duped. He was pursuing a contract in Bonny. If you know River State, you will know Bonny. A lot of oil companies and what have you there. So he was pursuing a contract in Bonny, a huge contract. And then they told him to go and bring S and Y amount of money. That my colleague was not, because he's his blood brother, he said he told his brother, there is no contract that they will ask you to bring money first. It's when you have gotten the contract, you can do shawarma, you can do small, thank you gifts and whatever. That's how contract works. The guy saying no, that he needs that contract. In fact, initially they were hiding it from him. That was how the man went and sold his estate. An estate that contains about 7 to 8 houses. I've not seen it, but the guy said he has a lot of houses, about 7 to 8 houses. Friends together like that. That was how the guy sold it. Sold it. That was his only property. Right? He sold it and took the money and gave to those people. And the whole thing just disappeared. The question is, if this happened to you in marriage, will you still love that person? You should ask yourself in advance. That's why I said, forgive that person in advance. Things go happen. Things will happen. Some of them, by God's grace, you will recover. Some of them, you might not recover, and that is life. When the challenges of life come, will you still be there? Will you still be shouting, I love you? Or by that time, it will be, where is the escape door? So Louise sent a message. Louise said, Fola, you are really versed in knowledge. Thank you so much. Now God the runner and the experience. Thank you so much. He said, wish all ladies are like you. Marriage would be the sweetest thing. Oh, thank you so much. That's so kind of you. Thank you so much. But again, when you start reflecting on yourself, that is also the point you should be asking yourself this about how secured you are and the goods that you can predict or project from being with this person, right? So women have nothing to add to your life. I am a woman and I said what I said. Some people are destroyers. They have nothing to add. If your business is dwindling, they have nothing to tell you. They have nothing to tell you or to contribute nor support. I'm not even asking you to tell me how to solve my business, because maybe you don't have any good knowledge of how my business works. They don't have any emotional support to give you, right? My girlfriend was telling me about this lawyer. She was dating the lawyer, right? And she saw this document in the lawyer's office. She was like, which document is this? He was like, no, you should keep it there, it's private, right? He was like, no, that the names on these documents are kind of two different names. I didn't know husband and wife. He said, no, that this particular man now has properties that he has willed to his side chick. Listen, if you're a woman, I don't say women know they ever live my life, but it is what it is. See, he said that he willed properties, I did not say property, properties to his side chick. My friend said, that's the way women they do, blah blah blah. The guy say, calm down. That the girl knows where all his properties are more than the wife. And he said that him too, he have asked the man, why would you do such a thing? Are you not married? He said when his business almost collapsed, that he was on the verge of losing everything. And he said he told his wife then, see you, I'm facing crazy challenge. I don't know how we are going to survive. The wife told him that, I beg, I no get strength for this thing. Find a way and solve the problem. I beg, no involved. I know. I don't even want to hear it. Just find way and solve the problem. That is what Igbo people call what? Oriako, Obianama. She is there to enjoy. Right? Which is also beautiful. But look at the twist now is that this is side chick. He went to meet the girl. Maybe they were supposed to see themselves or whatever. He was not telling the girl, thank you so much for the likes. He was not telling the girl that, the girl was like, why are you down now? This one. Maybe in get small pot belly, in the romance the pot belly. The time say, how far? The girl now, sorry, I'm going to read your message. Give me 1 second. The side chick now was not asking him what's up. The man now said, see, the problem I'm facing, my business is collapsing. The girl was like, narrate the thing again for me. And the girl started giving him solutions. Practical solutions that he puts in those problems, and it was solved. Why you no go reward the babe? So what did this man do? The man secured the woman that secured his life. He gave her properties because this woman did not just make sure the business did not collapse. She helped him to grow. Right? And that is why I keep saying it on my page, that men are the only people that are grateful. If you do that one for women, she no send you on her, she go still leave you. Right? But men who always, he knows that he cannot marry her. He knows that there is nothing again he can do for this baby apart from give her part of this wealth or part of this success that she has helped him to achieve. So he gave her properties. But what did the wife say? The wife said, no one here, no even one here at all. Just make sure we are fine. Make sure we are fine. So the man took his course to another person, and the person solved it. So this is how the person was able to secure her own wealth. Right? So the truth here is that as you are planning to marry somebody, some people do not know anything they can do for you in the case of emergency. I'm sorry. Some women do not develop their brain to the point of solving problem. What if you go on all these social media, whatever, all of them are looking for what? Odogu silencer. Big boy. wey go squander. How you make that money is not their problem. How you will maintain it is not their problem. They just want to enjoy the wealth. How to nourish wealth, how to arrange that money to make it a generational wealth is not their problem. Look at people like Sade Okoya, that you see a lot of women be like, I want to be like Sade Okoya, blah, 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 blah. She built Eleganza company. He came into the man's life and helped him to build. So when she's living luxury life as a wife, is part of her sweat. And you see how she's not going anywhere because she knows she has invested time, energy, and resources into Eleganza. Some of the women that some men are married to, one kobo they not put into your business. So when it collapses, they will leave. There is nothing that attach them to your business. A lot of women come into marriage now with their own personal agenda. Right? Wale said, beautiful Shade, how are you? I'm fine. Thank you so much for joining. Wale, how are you doing? So that is why you should look at security and growth when you want to decide who you are going to marry. Am I secured with this person? Is there possibility of growth with this person? What type of advice do this babe give to you? I've talked about the person that was advising her boyfriend not to buy a land. Why? Because the realtor is beautiful. The man went and languished the money. There are some men, right? Even the people that we call now Yahoo boys, some of them languish their money on women. Some of them, you see them, they don't invest. Some people know where to spend money. They don't know where to make money. Let that sink in. A lot of women have more ideas where you can spend your money fast, but they don't have ideas of where you can make new one. Security. Begin to reflect on yourself. Ask yourself the hard questions, right? You begin to ask yourself how you feel about being with this person. How do I feel? What is my expectation when I marry this person, right? So I'm sorry, I have to end here. I've even added extra 10 minutes to my time. So I have to end here. I'm going to see you guys same time tomorrow, 9 p.m. Okay, if you missed the live, it's going to definitely be on YouTube, right? So thank you so much, guys. Please go and follow me on all social media platforms. I so much appreciate. And remember that you can reach me via DM and email. Okay, email at owingoshade@gmail. Emails are strictly for business. You have relationship advice you would like me to talk about, please, it comes with an additional fee. It is not free. Okay, so that's it for that. Well, thank you, Wally. Okay, so that's it for that. I'm going to see you guys tomorrow. Okay, bye guys. Try and make good decisions, not just jump into marriage. Bye.